Welcome to Airsoft. In this one, we're going to be installing an aster gate into a Arcturus AK04. Now to do this, if you're familiar with this gun has a micro switch trigger, which if you were to install this, it would take a lot of dremeling into the gearbox. So the way around that would be to order one of their standard spec gearboxes, and as well as a standard AK selector, so that you can apply the sticker with their standard spec gearbox. Install the MOSFET, no problem. So all that area is already removed, as it's just how they're manufactured. Better for installing a MOSFET. Okay, we'll do a few test shots stock before we do anything, just to kind of know where we're at. This is going to be an indoor build, so I'm aiming for about 125 joules. It's at 1.4 right now, so we'll have to bring that down a little bit. Well, I've not worked on a lot of AKs, but I can definitely tell you they're a lot easier to get the gearbox out than most M4s. That was very simple. I think I had about 3 pieces of hardware I had to remove, and it came out simple. Comparing the two, they're basically identical other than the Arcturus markings on the new one, and bearings, ball bearings on the front too, and bushing for the sector. I'm going to slide this into the lower receiver now just to make sure everything fits in well, and then we'll carry on from swapping everything from here into here along with the MOSFET. Okay, just as a rough fitment, everything lines up perfectly just as I figured. So we will continue on. I'm going to most likely throw a Soul Link brushless, might even go with a Warhead, we'll see. But I'm going to most likely be going brushless route. But until I pick one of those up, we'll be sticking with the stock motor, which seems to have no issue currently. Okay, after taking a look at the selector plate mechanism on the new gearbox, it comes with this little doohickey that you would throw in here like this. But this is for this style of gearbox with the stock components. We won't actually need this for the aster, so what you need to do is just take your little piece from the old gearbox, and that would slide onto this one just like that, and your selector mechanism would slide in like this, and it would just function as normal on this gearbox to swap your teeth over. Okay, gears are all shimmed. Smooth, super easy, super quiet. So we should be good on shimming. Okay, spurred opinion, good. We got that tolerance, very perfect, very minimal play between the gears, but just enough to where it's not tight. Okay, clearance is good. Close, but definitely 1.5 mils at least. Nothing hits, everything spins good. And all I ended up using was the smallest washer they provide, which is the 1 mil. And that was enough to keep me away from the sector gear and flushes me up on the other end here. Okay, it says in the manual here that you want to line it up with the left side of that square piece in the middle, and that's what I've done. Looks good. We can get that selector plate on the gearbox now. Okay, it says in the manual here to remove anti-backlash from the trigger, which basically is going to eliminate slop side to side like this. I ended up going with a 0.03, stuck that in there. There was a bit of play still, and then I tested out with the sticker still on a 1.15 or 0.15, and it was a bit snug, But once I peeled the sticker off and slid it in, stuck it down, it is perfect. It doesn't get stuck. It slides in and out nice and easy, and there is no side to side. So next thing we're gonna do is get some alcohol and wipe off our surface and throw one of these stickers on for the sensor. Okay, I got my trigger sticker in place. Looks good, it's on there good. Time to just slap everything back into the gearbox. Okay, everything's all wired up, hooked up, routed through. Looks good. The selector mechanism was a bit tight, the tolerances, but all I did was take my Dremel and buffed all the paint off on the inside where it recesses into the gearbox, and that seemed to free it up quite a bit. So okay, so I torched the end of the spring, got it nice and red hot, and compressed it just a very small amount, and that should bring us down in joules, aiming for around 1.25. Okay, so I did the programming off camera. I mean, there's lots of good videos on YouTube on how the blue link works for the Gate Aster, but I had to use the online, being that this was a used MOSFET. The selector and whatnot wasn't programmed, or the trigger wasn't calibrated and whatnot. So I've got active brake on auto, and as well as pre-cocking, and trigger sensitivity is at the lowest setting it can be at. And then I went semi for the fire select. Being that it's an indoor build, I'll never need full auto. But we'll do a shooting test, show you how it sounds, how it shoots, and the final result of the gearbox swap. Super consistent, using 2.5s and just over 300 FPS is what I'm looking for. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if this helped you install a Gate Aster into your Arcturus AK.